another episode of HexHeart Podcast. I'm really excited for tonight's guest. We've been waiting for this one. This is episode. This is the third episode in my five podcast series, and right now I'm going to bring out the one and only Rexx of A Moment's Notice.
What's up?
What's up? How's it hanging?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I can't complain. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this one for a while.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate it.
It's actually cool seeing you face to face. I haven't actually got a chance to meet you. I've met your band members, Sergio and Johnny, but I haven't met you because I guess you weren't around at the time. So it's nice getting to talk to you one-on-one. You have a huge following right now in the metalcore scene.
Dude, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a behind the scenes kind of dude. Like, I don't really go out to a lot of like shows and stuff like that because I got a family and other stuff that I got going on. But I'm not around as much, I would say.
Right. And you're you're in the Sacramento scene. What's that like?
Pretty dope, actually. A lot of Sacramento. I'm still relearning a lot. Sacramento kind of has changed since I've done music. I haven't done music in a long time, so it's definitely been a challenge for me to relearn a lot of stuff. So I'm just getting kind of my feet wet again, I guess you could say.
I got you. I see you. It takes a lot to get back into the music scene when you've been through life for a time. I know.
Sorry, is my camera like not working?
No, your camera turned off.
Okay, is it back on?
Hold on. It's taking a moment to come back on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, it's all good. These things happen from time to time.
Technical difficulties.
They happen.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, there is a ton of questions I want to ask you about A Moment's Notice. I mean, like I said, you are actually in the prime of you're still not up there.
Oh, give me 1 sec. Let's see. It keeps saying my camera's disabled, but it's on. Wait. I'm showing a lot more bar. It's saying my connection's weak.
Your connection weak?
Yeah, let me turn off the Wi-Fi on my phone and stuff. And probably everyone's using Wi-Fi right now, so
probably. That's okay. We'll continue. We'll continue going on. There's a lot of questions for you from the metalcore scene, and I'm sure a lot of it you probably heard. For example, like where did you go ahead and meet Jonny and Sergio for, or like how did you do your live with Ryan Brown, and just questions like that? Because I mean, you played and are playing with some of the Central Valley's best, whether you acknowledge it or not. Honestly.
Oh no, I mean I totally acknowledge a lot of that. I'm just honored to be able to do this. I technically never met Jonny or Sergio before them being in the band. They kind of just showed up one day and tried out, and they just they worked out, and we wrote Lotus with those guys, and same thing with David, and Jordan was the only one I really did know because him and I were doing music together for a couple months prior to that in another like deathcore kind of project, but it wasn't really like taking off anywhere. And a moment's notice kind of just was like a side project thing that I was gonna do, and I was like, I just want to throw it out there, see if anybody bites, and people started really liking it and vibing with it. So I was like, hell, dude, let's try this. Let's do something, and it seems to have been working out so far. So, I'm pretty stoked, and yeah, playing with some of the bands that we have played with, it's been incredible.
Nice. And a couple of questions I have, like, for example, like, what are your heroes? Who are your heroes and influences for your music?
Honestly, a big part of my like vocal style is, I guess you could say a lot of it is influenced by the Ghost Inside, because
Nice.
the Ghost Inside had, I grew up kind of listening to hardcore most of my life, and like pop punk and punk music, and that's kind of like where my roots were at. So I never kind of strayed too far from it until I got into like deathcore, and metalcore wasn't really exactly my take. I wasn't actually going for that when I started a moment's notice, but just sitting in the studio, it kind of just happened. But the Ghost Inside has always kind of been like a huge influence. The old like kind of metalcore sound was always kind of an influence in the music. So as far as heroes go, like, I mean, I gotta say, like, my hero is actually not a musician. It's actually like my grandfather, because my grandfather was always like, he was hard on me, but it was like in a loving way. He always kind of was just like telling me never to like stop, and he's always been a huge part of my life.
Encouragement.
Yeah, he always kind of pushed me, and so did my mom. So, but my grandfather instilled a lot of like really good work habits, and he always showed me the way to go. So my grandfather was always kind of that person, and when I started doing music, he was always like really like happy that I was doing it, and I was in. Same with my mom. My mom and my grandfather were always like the bigger supporters of my music, and kind of my heroes, because they always kind of wanted to see me do it. And unfortunately, my grandfather hasn't been able to see my success now, because
much of your performances, a lot of it's is located to the Modesto or Central Valley area.
Yeah, actually, unfortunately my grandfather passed last year. He passed last year before we even got to play our first show. But he did start to see like the traction it was getting, and he was very proud of me. So I know, like, if he was here today, he'd probably be super stoked.
I see that. For sure. For sure. I mean, you like, honestly, we want to make our individual role models happy, and we're trying to impress them by showing them we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing it. And it just shows a lot of compassion when you're talking to people about what you're doing, and they get into it with you. A couple of my role models are in the scene, and they're impressed by what I'm doing here, the podcasting, the promoting. They're really impressed by how I'm doing things in the scene, because they're in the scene. So it's the same thing with you. When you have family that's in it, you have family that saw you get there. But yes, it is very upsetting that he wasn't able to see you up on stage. But always take that to heart, that he's looking down on you whenever you're up on stage. He's your shooting star.
Oh yeah, for sure. My grandfather was a huge part of my life. Actually, was named after him. So, he's a huge part of what I do and how I, how I live my life now. And, that's all I can hope for. And, with my lyrics and the way that I talk about a lot of like my own mental health and everything like that, like that's a huge thing I talk about, or the way I feel about certain subjects. And, when it gets down to it, it's like, I want people to be able to connect to our music in a way that allows them to, find my story that I'm saying to them, but how it fits for them, what it does for them. And if if it helps them in some way, then that's all that matters to me at the end of the day.
I feel that. When it comes down to oh, you're still, your camera is not on yet.
No,
So
it's honestly, I don't have no idea what's going on. It says it's on, but it says it's not.
you just want to continue like this? I mean,
Yeah, that's totally fine. I
okay.
mean,
All right.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure why it's bugging out, but
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Wait,
So, how can we reach your social media? How can we get a hold of you for like shows and like merchandise and stuff like that? How do we get a hold of you and you guys?
So all of our social media, we have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I have my link tree posted for the band in my Instagram, which is Free Soul Rexx, and it'll take you straight to the band and like any of our social media platforms. Our merch is strictly at shows right now because we are building a website kind of from the ground up. That's something that our management is doing for us. So they're kind of like they're showing us how to do it, so that we can do it the right way. Because we just got partnered up with Death Developments.
Yes, I saw that. You guys are on a label now.
It's more of like an artist management like crew, but kind of label-esque, I guess you could say. Yeah.
You're getting there. You've made CDs and you're about to get on a label. I mean, you're artist connection. But one way or another, you're getting there. I mean,
yeah.
I want to say you, Titan, and Taking Fox Hollow are all on your way to either being big or you're already halfway there.
Yeah, like as far as like being big, I don't think we're the biggest band or like we're like getting big at the moment. I think we have a lot of growth we have to make before we get there. I wouldn't say that we're big or we're getting there. I mean, we're definitely grinding for sure, but we have a really long road ahead of us. Like, this is literally the beginning. We're still in the baby phase. We haven't even started crawling yet. So, there's going to be so much more that has to go into play in the near future. So, it takes time to get there. Some of these big bands, they've put a lot of time and effort into this. And so, there's no cutting corners in this. We got to do the same.
So, what are some inspirations for your songs? Not to jump on to the next topic.
Yeah, a lot of the inspiration for my songs is, Lotus is actually talking a lot about the way that I felt about either situations that have happened to me or someone that I've known, or to be honest with you, a lot of the album has to do a lot about just telling people that I'm pretty much here to stay and I'm not going anywhere.
There you go.
You can't
the haters.
Like, you can't really tell me what to do. I'm gonna do it regardless because I love this. And after Silver Lining and Endless Waltz, like, that was really cool. But when the rest of the band joined, it was more of me being like, all right, I have a band, I'm doing this again, like, and I'm not stopping until the end.
There you go.
until I'm too old to do it.
On this wall, it's actually had Ryan Brown on it, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was the reason why I kept sharing it. It was really nice to see your contribution to the connection to the metalcore scene, and Ryan Brown and you guys have an on and off relationship in the music scene.
Actually, Ryan Brown's actually like one of my best friends. So, no, he's like, I literally just seen him today, and because I had to go to meet up with some of my buddies, and he's like, "Sup, dude?" And like, he's just talking to me, and like, I'm like, dude, that's like, every time we talk to each other, it's just like we're just picking up right where we left off, even if I don't see him for a week.
Right, like, I feel that. I feel the fire.
Yeah, dude, that's literally like one of my best friends. I used to work with him too and stuff, so it's always a good time seeing him.
That's really cool. At some point I have to see about trying to get you, Ryan, and Taking Fox Hollow on one stage if I can. That would be a really cool show to make happen, since you guys are all the boys of the metal scene. And it's like, have you heard from Whitewolf lately?
Whitewolf. Who?
Joel Soto, Joel.
Whitewolf. Yeah. Yeah, that's Matt Hannis's band, right? He used to be the drummer.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I think so. It's Joel Ortega as a vocalist. I haven't heard from those guys in a good couple of months. I don't know if their band's still up and running. I want to do a show with them.
I think that because I was in a project with Matt Hannis at the time before he moved to Nashville, and their drummer moved to Nashville, and he lives out there full time, and is he's doing like country bars and stuff like that. Like, he's like playing with country artists and stuff right now. So, I don't know if he's still in the band. I don't really know what's going on with Whitewolf, to be honest with you.
Shame. They were really good. That was the one show that I went into that someone kicked me in the face in, and it was actually a really good experience.
Oh man. Yeah, and with Titan's they went through a lineup change, so I don't really know what's going on with them. I know they're kind of like on a hiatus right now.
Yeah, and I heard from Ryan that they're gonna be in the studio doing CDs and stuff, so that's a really big thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And
So tell me some of your stories, some of your on the road stories for a moment's notice.
Well, I mean, we've only had one because we only shot. We went on a trip to LA to go shoot offerings in LA with Titan, and that was super fun. The only real thing I could say from that whole entire trip is that you can't put all of us in a van and try to see us not cracking some sort of joke or something, because
that's right. That's the best thing about bringing band members together, is that it's all a fun time.
Oh yeah.
You can't be in the music scene doing music for yourself and not have a good time. And that's the reason I do this. You can have a time where you are working and it's just grinding. It's horrible. But as soon as you start getting into the music scene, doors open up, and it's amazing. It's amazing what people do when they're together in the music scene. I love it. Love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can definitely agree. There's a lot of things about the music scene that I truly enjoy, and it brings me a lot of joy when I'm on stage and screaming and doing what I do. And there's a lot of pictures that actually show me smiling and laughing on stage,
right,
having a good time.
Feel it. Do you mind if I play that video for offerings like we talked about?
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
So 1 sec.
Sick.
That was impressive. Tell when you're going through that video that you see, what are some of the thoughts that come through? That
windbreaker was a terrible choice. It was so hot. It was so hot. Nah, it was honestly a blast. There was a lot of jokes, a lot of laughter. Everyone was just having a good time. We were having a blast out there. Yeah, we had the demo team podcast actually there, and they were doing it behind the scenes, and Ryan was cracking me up the whole entire time.
Nice.
He's actually become a pretty good friend of mine now. I actually love talking to that dude all the time. I frequent his podcast a lot, actually. I actually did one with him and Derek Bloom from first to last. So that was super funny.
Nice.
I don't know, just the memories from that whole entire thing. I mean, was
Where
definitely
was that? Where was that taking place?
That was at Cinepack Studios in Los Angeles.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, we went down there with Titan and when we went down, like, you know, we drove throughout the night, got down to LA, ate, did some stuff, went to go see Mitch Lucker's grave because got to pay respects to the dude whenever we're in town. And yeah, man, it was a blast. We were driving the former guitarist of Titans, John. He's gonna lose it on us that whole entire time because once we got done with the music video, we were just cracking jokes and laughing. So,
there you go.
and then he was like, dude, oh my god, if you guys don't shut up and stop laughing. We were just cracking up. We were having a great time. So,
right.
A lot of good memories.
That's what it's supposed to do. You're going out and having fun with this.
Oh yeah.
Music is about fun. Music is about life.
Yeah, totally.
So tell me a little bit, like, okay, so you're heading down to LA. So tell me a little bit of the story behind the scenes of this video.
As far as like what was going on in the video or like the message and everything.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the video and how it connects to what you were doing in LA.
You know, the whole reason why we called it Offerings was because it was us going down there and spending the time to, you know, drive out to LA, shoot the video, get the place and everything. The song was literally about making it our offering to people. We were like, this is us, this is who we are, this is what we're doing, like this is what we wanted to do. And that was the whole idea of us going even out to LA. And so, like, as far as the behind the scenes go, it's like it was us getting that whole entire trip. Everything we did on that trip actually had a lot of meaning for us to be like, hey, you know, this is why we're doing this. And this song was, you know, a great way of saying that as well. When we said, you know, this is our offering bit by bit. It wasn't just saying like, you know, what the song was about. It was talking about like, no, this is us. We're staying. We're here to do this. And so a lot of us haven't done music in a long time. So a lot of that behind the scenes, it was, you know, us traveling again as a band and stuff like that. And
There you go.
Stuff that we haven't done since prior to the pandemic, or some of us longer.
The pandemic. How could I forget? We basically all took a dive because of the pandemic. All the venues, all the bands. Like there's a bunch of bands that I know that are just not working out right now because the pandemic just screwed them so badly. It's a real shame.
Yeah, the pandemic kind of slowed us all down a little bit. And some of us, it kind of lit a fire under our butt. And I feel like that was kind of, for me, it kind of lit a fire underneath me. You know, thankfully, my family, my wife, and, you know, my son and everyone, you know, they've all been huge support, like, systems.
That's what it's about.
Like, my mom's actually been to some of my concerts and stuff, so it's been super cool. Like, I actually like see a lot of my family at these things, and my son gets to see me be an artist as well as my wife, and you know, she's always constantly pushing me as well as helping me out with all the social media crap that I cannot keep up with to save my life, because it is a whole job. So bless her for that one.
Nice.
I don't have the time or the patience to do half the stuff that she's doing on there for us.
All right, I agree with that. So, did you ever go sightseeing over in LA when you had the opportunity?
No, we didn't really. It was a pretty tight schedule. Titan was going down there to go meet up with a business partner of theirs, I guess, and we went down there to shoot the music video. So, one point in the morning, we kind of split off. We went to go grab lunch. They went to go do their meeting. Then I guess their drummer at the time lived down in LA, so they were gonna go practice while we were shooting the music video for 5 hours. We did it. So
5 hours.
Yeah. So the only thing we actually did was go to see Mitch Lucker. That was the only real thing that we actually went to go sightsee. The rest of the time,
I'm
it was
sorry,
like
Mitch Lucker doesn't ring a bell at the moment. Can you explain?
Mitch Lucker is the vocalist of Suicide Silence who passed away.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so
that explains it. I haven't heard a lot of Suicide Silence.
okay.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, gotta pay your respects, man, for sure.
Yeah, Suicide Silence has been a huge, actually, including like, I think a lot of like his stage presence was so great, but he was amazing at what he did. But that was really the only sight we got to see the whole entire time because we were so busy.
Did you ever go and see them for Aftershock?
No. I every time Aftershock happens, I'm working or it doesn't line up with my schedule, and I never get to go to Aftershock.
Me too.
All the other guys in the band, like they've gone to Aftershock and stuff, but it's just not for me ever because I'm never having the time to do it. So I'm like, I feel like the only time I'm actually gonna go to Aftershock is probably when I play Aftershock, and hopefully that happens in the future. Because I'm like, hey, I'm just hoping.
So when did A Moment's Notice start or begin?
AMN started. Oh man, I want to say it started in October. It was like a couple weeks before Halloween, if I remember correctly. Nick Miller last October. So
you're a fairly new band.
Yeah, we've when Jonny, Sergio, David, and them joined, it was in November, December, because we had wrote Silver Line. Nick Miller from A Skylight Drive and I wrote the first 2 songs together.
Right. You had the connection to Skylight Drive. You did a show for them. How was that?
Dude, that show was really cool. I mean, I got to play with a band that I've been listening to since I was, really young. I think I was like 15, 16 years old when they were, when they first like showed up, and now it's kind of crazy. Like I talk to Nick pretty frequently, and I call him all the time. I talk to Jordan Blake from time to time. Corey LaQuay and Brian White and Joey Wilson, like they're all just really good dudes. Say what?
Was that show packed?
Oh, it was pretty packed. Yeah, I think it was like 100 tickets from selling out, and I mean that venue's pretty big, so it was pretty crazy. And then we played direct support for them, so we were right before them, and that was like
nice.
That was really wild. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. Like we got to play with the Skylight Drive, so
they're hella famous too.
Yeah, they're pretty big. It was kind of it was kind of funny. A lot of the bands that were on the bill were like people that like Nick had produced it at one point or another, and so it was like all the homies were just hanging out. It was like basically just friends, like just doing.
There you go. I love that. I absolutely love that.
And yeah, dude. And Brian always Brian starts giving me nicknames and stuff now, and it's hilarious. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's being friends with all of those guys now, and just like getting to know them and stuff. It's like, the music connections that I've made are more about friendships than it is about the money or anything else, really. The money is nice, but I mean, when
it's
that
not happens, it's not about the money, it's about the music.
Yeah, 100%.
So how long did you practice your craft before you actually went on stage for the first time?
Oh God. Back when I was a teenager, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how long it took me. or if I even did it right. But I just kind of do. I think I was watching, unfortunately, As I Lay Dying at the time when I was a kid, and I was like, dude, they're like,
Good band. Good
I was
band.
like, this dude's crazy. Like, I don't know, like, I was listening to, what was I listening to? Oh, it was Born of Osiris. And somebody's like, dude,
they're good. They're good.
somebody was like, dude, what do you think about this band? And I was like, oh, snap. And he my buddy was like, dude, you should check out these bands. And I was like, dude, because I was just like kind of getting into the genre. I think I was 15 at the time. Yeah, 14 or 15, one of the two. And
Nice.
somebody started showing me deathcore, and I was like, because I was listening to punk and hardcore, and like hardcore was kind of like not what it is now. It was a little bit different from then. So it was like Norma Jean and stuff like that. And you know, it was like more going into that metalcore kind of S kind of like sound.
Right.
And and I really didn't dive too deep into it. And then somebody showed me As Blood Runs Black, and I was like, holy crap, who the hell are these guys? And it's right when their album Allegiance had dropped. And so my first show was The Warriors, Walls of Jericho, Born of Osiris, and As Blood Runs Black. And I think As Blood Runs Black headlined that show, which is crazier because Born of Osiris is like exponentially huger than them now. But
Right.
but As Blood Runs Black is like not even a band anymore. So it's crazy. And I don't know. I went to that show. That was the first show I had ever been to, like first concert ever. And I saw As Blood Runs Black and Born of Osiris, and I was like, holy crap, these guys are crazy. And like, you know, the other bands were amazing too, like Walls of Jericho and the Warriors. They were amazing, but I was just like, I was so enamored by what they were doing, and I was like, that shit, I want to do it. I'm gonna do it. And so I doubled down and I just kind of kept practicing, like screaming in the shower and stuff, doing stupid crap like that, like annoying my dad, because my dad would like absolutely hated the genre, and he's just like, dude, I can't stand this screaming crap, and he would tell me to turn it down. So I would listen to it, and like when he would, like anytime he got it like out of the house and like the rest of my family was gone and like nobody was around, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna scream. And like I would just practice in my room like a kid, like just being like, well, I was a kid, but
right.
I think my first band was when I was like 16. And
have you ever seen bands like Parkway Drive or Amity Affliction?
I've seen them live, like back in the day, like way back, like when I haven't listened to them too much lately. I mean, I still like dabble. I don't listen to Parkway Drive anymore. Like I like their older stuff a lot more. I can't really get into the new stuff as much. It just doesn't hit the same. But yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of like different genres. A lot of people would think that I just listen to like hardcore and like deathcore and stuff now, and I'm like, that's not even the case. Like
you're way more rounded than that, I bet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I listen to like Charlie Puth and like Justin Bieber and The Midnight and like stuff that like nobody would really expect.
Right.
And I just kind of.
That's the thing people don't get, is that metalheads don't just listen to metal. It's an urban myth.
It's pretty exhausting to listen to just the style of music that you play. Like I practice.
You get tired and stressed out after a while.
I wouldn't say so stressed out. I think it's more like I'm like, dude, I do this all day. Like I'll practice some songs. Like I practice pretty regularly. But I do a lot of like I do vocal lessons. You know, once a week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I do it with my good friend Josh Doty from Cemetery Sun, and he helps me out a lot with my vocals and singing and screaming, and kind of helps me try to find my identity as a vocalist. And I feel like a lot of like my work with him has like helped out a lot. But as far as listening to the music, I don't really. I listen to it, but like not enough to say that I'm like I'm submerged in it all the time.
Right, I got you there. I honestly want to say that I thank you for being on here. I'm sorry the camera is really not working, but as long as we can hear you, that's the best part that matters. I mean, we could have totally done this audio, but I got the video, and I got you on audio. So one way or another. So we're pretty good. Is there anything that you want to add to the stream that you want to say to the viewers listening to this or watching this?
Yeah. We got a show this weekend on Sunday. It's pretty close to selling out, but if you end up missing that or you missed our 17th show that's also happening this weekend.
The one for Beauty is Betrayal, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the second day is pretty close to selling out, so we're pretty sure it's gonna be sold out. If not, Friday, probably Saturday, it'll sell out. They said there was only probably like 50 tickets left, and I know a few people were waiting last minute to buy them. But if you guys miss out on that, we are going on tour, and we'll be playing the Boardwalk, where that was actually the first show I've ever been to. So it's kind of a nostalgic thing for me.
The Boardwalk is amazing, and I've heard that they've revived themselves.
Yeah, so we'll be out here in Sacramento again, February 1st. After that, I don't know if we're going to be playing Sacramento again for a long time. Probably not till the end of the year. So
right.
That would be the show to catch us before we stop playing Sacramento so much, because we're going to be doing some traveling and stuff.
Are you ever going to do anything in Modesto, or is that kind of not really your niche at the moment?
I mean, Modesto's fine. Like I'm down with it. It just
you gotta find some place to do it though.
Yeah, a lot of that it just has to be the right kind of show, and like we have to like kind of know what we got. There's a lot of planning, including now that we have management and stuff like that. Like we're down to play anytime, anywhere. It's just a matter of like, what is the venue going to be doing? Like, how are we going to be promoting it? What bands, the logistics side of like doing like a show is always something that you kind of want to take into account. I know that we have a pretty decent following in the 209, but locals from that area will help, and the right locals that bring out people will definitely help in that kind of like situation. So yeah, I mean, I'm not against playing Modesto at all. I just, we just have to plan it out right.
You gotta find the right place. It's been hard with Spinnakers and other places crashing.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I've even really seen a lot of Modesto shows, to be honest with you. I think the closest thing is like Lodi, because they have the Wildwood skate shop, and that place actually is pretty cool. It's like the dive bar of like venues, but honestly, I kind of love it because when I was there to see the Willow and Wolf and Bear and
Wolf and Bear killer. I love that. I love that band.
Yeah, dude, they're sick. And then in Chaos, it was Dan's birthday, so we got to see them there.
Right.
Dude, those guys, like that venue was actually really cool. Actually, it was super intimate and it was wild. The pits were crazy. So I think that's like probably the closest we can get to Modesto, or a little bit further until
something opens up.
Yeah, because I haven't seen too many venues out that way, unfortunately, which is it's a shame for you guys to not have anything out there. But I mean,
well, we're trying. Well, I'm trying to make that happen on my end. That's what I've been busy for the past couple of months trying to open up a venue for a rock and metal that we can do in Modesto. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to. It's easy to get the place. It's the permits that we're having trouble with, and that's what I aim to to make happen before I can bring you guys down there. I just want to make sure metal will work down in that area before something says and someone says no. You know what I mean? Like,
totally got you.
Get that backup, you know? You can't just say, hey, I'm going to have a metal show. People will wig. It's like, hey, I've done the math. We've had these type of bands play so far, and it's worked out. Can we try a metal band? A metal band. And then we just go from there. It's baby steps.
Yeah, totally. I totally understand that.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much for being on my show. Why don't you give us your guys' social media one more time before we close out?
Yeah, so on Instagram it's A Moment's Notice Official, and then same thing with Twitter, but the Twitter has an underscore at the end, and then A Moment's Notice on Facebook. You can find us on there too.
All right, there you go. Thanks, my brother. I hope you have a good night.
Yep, you too, man. Take care.
All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.